One Piece.
Are we
This
gonna get
is
it out of
One
the way now?
Wait, what?
Are we gonna get it out of the way now? Might as well just get it.
What?
Oh,
Might as well just get it out the way right now.
RGC.
Right? Yeah, RGC.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Might as well just get it out of the
right.
way right now. You know what I mean? Like who?
All right, big fiend.
no pressure, Chris. I mean, if you like
No,
something
I
else.
mean, hey. No. It was also my RGC, but you know, I don't know. You guys were so thirsty. This is before.
Well, you guys.
Before we even begin, this is our unified really good chapter of the week, I guess.
It deserves it.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Had me feeling like I forgot something over here. But this is One Piece chapter 1154. Can't even die. So we start off with a cover page. Yamato has arrived at the grave of the hero born in the West Blue and raised in Ringo. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this was mentioned before, but I feel bad for not remembering. In any case, Yamato and his people are now appearing at a destroyed shrine where there are many swords all around it and many blades. And I'm ashamed to say, if I don't remember who this is, I'm sorry. As a One Piece fan, I hang my head in shame. Unless it is new information. And then, you know, fuck you guys. But yeah, we are continuing our... Well,
Who is it that you don't remember? The shrine?
yeah.
Bro, that's the shrine. This nigga that had this. Oh god, the swordsman zombie.
No, it's not Ryu. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna look up the
Did
wiki.
you not say that? Yeah.
I'm gonna look up the wiki and see what it is.
Right.
Give me
and then
one.
this laughing fiend was over there, which ended up being killer.
The grave of... Okay. Ocho then requests Yamato and his followers pay tribute to at a dilapidated grave of a hero who was born in the West Blue and raised in Ringo. It might be Ryu, you know? It might be him. But, you know, the wiki doesn't say who it is, so maybe I'm not supposed to know who it is anyway. Maybe they didn't introduce this concept before. Anyway, before we question that too much, we opened this chapter continuing the flashback. We missed a lot because we were off for about a month. But last we left off with One Piece, Loki was born, and it was very sad because he had these freaky deaky little eyes and his mom hates him for it. But before that, even, we find out that Harold was a huge douchebag back in the day. But then he met a baddie and changed his entire life.
Facts.
No, he didn't just meet a baddie. He met a baddie that could hold it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
she really changed his entire perspective in literally 10 minutes of meeting him. It was really cool. And I don't care if this really gets us flagged again. I feel like this panel that I'm going to edit in is one of my new faces that I love that Oda drew, where Harold gets slapped by Loki, Hajridin's mom, and he goes like, you know, he has that like. I need to say this because I didn't get to talk about it, and I was so sad that I wasn't able to talk about this panel because I was sick and it hurt to talk and laugh. And when I read this, I was in pain because I was laughing so much because of the fucking face he made.
Banana head.
It reminded me of just like a SpongeBob moment, you know, where they get like a really exaggerated face going. Um, but yeah, Harold became a good guy after that, and he went around helping people and building ties with the world instead of being a fucking asshole. Um, and he returned to Elbaf, where he wasn't allowed to marry Hadrian's mom for some reason. I think it's because he was already betrothed. Um, so he married a woman that would eventually give birth to Loki. And seeing Loki's eyes, these serpent-like eyes, for the first time, caused her such distress that she ordered the guards to throw the baby into the underworld. And baby Loki had to very sadly cry and crawl its way up the fucking tree to get back home. Jesus Christ, Oda.
An infant did that, by the way.
Yeah, he was a fucking newborn baby. Bananas. We then learned that.
Oh, by the way, they said he couldn't marry them because he couldn't marry Hadrian's mom because she wasn't of noble blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was already. Yeah, that was the rules back then.
This bullshit, bro.
Mm-hmm. Systems, bro. Systems. But yeah, we then learned little tidbits about Loki's past. He grew up to be a little bit of a rapscallion in his youth, and he hung out with Dorian Bragi a lot when they were kids, which is kind of nice. And they were running around causing trouble and all that jazz. We opened this chapter with a monumental moment, a moment we've seen in One Piece before. We arrive at 63 years ago, the year that Lin Lin, also known as Big Mom, arrived at Elbaf, and she killed Jorul, the partner chief, the partner of Chief Jorul, and he was killed by Big Mom in that moment, and she would later be called Big Mom and all that stuff. And then after she did that, apparently Elbaf was plagued with disaster after disaster. There was just freezing winds and that was destroying their crops, and fires and gales and cold snaps and all that stuff. So it's not great. Loki's mom blames it entirely on Loki because Loki had been because of his eyes. Loki had been prophesied to destroy Elbaf at some point. So, it's not looking good. Loki crashes through a fucking wall to see his mom again. But she's not having it. She's like, kick it out. Don't let that monster near me ever again. And man, that kind of thinking starts to spread to the villagers, because people start to say that Loki is cursed. So people start to go crazy. They burst into his Hadrian's mom's bar and starts talking shit. One of these giants and is like, your brother has put a curse on this land. He's tried to kill us. You're his brother, so you must be a sacrifice. Ida is Hadrian's mom's name. She gets grabbed by the giant, and the giant's about to kill her. But that's when Harold comes through and literally pounds this guy into the ground, like bonks him, and he contorts into like an accordion man type of
Yeah. I didn't notice that at first. I could actually see his face pancakes.
Yeah. And this was a wonderful moment as Harold is like, why do you turn on yourselves? In the same breath that I heard about the birth of Loki, I learned that my kingdom was dying of starvation. So I went at once to the countries with which we have ties, and without a single word, they loaded up their ships with massive piles of food. And he said, each human has a tiny body, but they band together country after country and brought enough food to fill our giant bellies. Let us be grateful for their aid. Let us savor the food they brought us. And Harold saves everyone with, by being a good diplomat and not a fucking raging asshole. Go figure.
Let's go.
Shortly
He's a
after,
benevolent king.
I mean, if you have this is what leaders are supposed to.
Yeah,
if you
gotta have a king, you'd rather him be.
You are a leader. This is the kind of leader you got to be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or however you feel about it, shortly after Harold's return, Queen Estrid passed away. Loki's mom died, and in her dying breath, she spitefully blamed the kingdom's ills on the curse of Loki, her own son.
So you want to know how I feel about it?
How do you feel about it?
This, what I'm smoking right now, is an Estrid blunt.
You smoke of that Estrid pack
with the dramatic thunder in the background.
Yeah, that was for me. Yeah. But because she did that before, like her dying breath was literally, saying "fuck them kids" or "fuck my kids" specifically. Everybody started to believe that the curse was responsible for her death. But you know what? Harold never did. He's holding his son up in the air. He's like, my son, Loki. They explained that that he was born with an affliction of the eyes. Though he can see, I assure you. I guess that's the question is, has Harold ever seen his eyes at this point? Because he was away, he came back, and he already had the bands around his eyes. So
I don't think he has.
He has not seen.
Yeah, but anyway, the little snake eyes.
Yeah.
But in any case, we see that he's like, can you smile? I suppose not after losing your mother. And the narrative breaks into say, actually, at just a few months old, Loki had abandoned any hope for love, which is sad. Meanwhile, as time goes on, Elbaf survives its long winter thanks to the diplomatic ties that he has fostered. But between rebuilding the shattered country and his many foreign trips, Harold was extremely busy and he couldn't really take care of Loki. So Loki's dickhead brother-in-law has been taking care of Loki ever since. And he is being just as big of an asshole as Estrid was. So, yikes. Meanwhile, we cut back to Ela's bar where Hadridan is hanging out. And, Hadridan is trying to get his mom to leave the underworld. But Ela is like, no, the sea separates us from the underworld. The beast can't reach us here. You're going to do your warrior training with Elbow. There's a giant named Elbow, I guess, in the Western Village. I'll stop by on the way home. And, she's like, just trying to, if anybody gets stuck here and everybody comes by, she wants to be at a place where she can welcome people and, keep that thing going that Harold's going with, treating outsiders with, kindness and respect, and hoping that it helps Harold, as a king, which is nice. Well, I guess he's not king yet. He's just still an explorer. Ja Rule's still the king. And so we cut over 56 years ago in the timeline. Ja Rule is asking Harold about the reverie, since apparently he's been there. He asked a fellow royal to help slip him inside as a soldier. I don't know how that was possible. I guess this royal he asked claimed that he had like a giant soldier on him. But in the end, the council would not hear him out. And if it wasn't for the uproar about a certain murder that happened at the reverie, it would not have worked. He would have been imprisoned. And basically, he said that if you were lucky, you would be the only one in chains. That was reckless of you. Say, have you ever heard of the Galley-La band? Galley-La band? And they explain about. They said that there was this group of hardy giant shipwrights, hammer wielding warriors, And Ja Rule thought, not Ja Rule, Harold thought they were a myth. And Ja Rule is like, no, they certainly existed. They traveled to distant shores and sent a letter back to Elbaf from afar. It said, we have all been taken prisoner. Can you believe that? Who could have possibly captured 100-strong company of our kind with ancient giants?
What the hell?
So okay. So this might have actually been a thing that we've seen before.
That's what I'm curious about. Like, is this supposed to be ringing a bell for something?
Apparently it is, and this is something I've heard from the streets. Do you remember in Punk Hazard, and this should be fresh in your mind, Josh? Do you remember in Punk Hazard when Chopper and Nami and the kids were running through the lab and they found this like people frozen in the ice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
people are saying that those are the Galley-La band. Wait, Galley-La, Galley-La.
Is that the same thing?
Oh,
oh, the Galley-La company from Water 7, right?
Galley-La company was like an homage to the Galley-La company, the Galley-La band.
They sound too similar, man. But what did they build the Ark or something? Like, no, because that was
maybe these are the builders of the Pluton.
There is actually a theory. There's actually a theory out there that they did build the Ark too.
Yeah, maybe they did build the Ark. Whoa. Lots of lore. This is a big one.
How long ago would that have been?
I mean,
there's no real.
If they were myth
right?
when Hadrian was when Harold was young, then that means this is like they've got to be like 200 plus old at this point. Like, Harold thought they were like a distant myth, and he's old at this point. This was 56 years ago, where they're pretty much almost forgotten. Pretty crazy.
So they're referred to as a myth, meaning that this could have been hundreds of years, especially because the giants are already like old. But he knew. Well, Ja Rule knew because he's in there ancient.
Yeah, Ja Rule is the oldest giant, so he would know. But to all the other giants, these guys aren't even sure that they exist. Like they're like a folktale almost. Pretty crazy. So,
oh my god, I had to go back to Punk Hazard now because I do remember that room. But were they giants?
I have to look into that room as well. I gotta look through my volumes here. But yeah, that's interesting. So the lore implications here, the possibilities of the Galley-La band is that they certainly existed. They were shipwrights. The Galley-La is a company of shipwrights that may have been named after the Galley-La club, the Galley-La band. The Galley-La band may possibly reside on Punk Hazard, frozen after being captured hundreds and hundreds of years ago. They either could have built the Pluton, the Ark, or both. And they're big enough to do it. I mean, the Ark is huge. So pretty big lore drop, I would say.
Makes so much sense. I mean, it's Punk Hazard. It's right there off the red line. So it's not far from Navy headquarters where it used to be, and Marowak for that matter, right? And
yeah.
Yeah, like
you got to keep your eyes open. Yeah. I would not have thought of the fucking weird people who were stuck in Punk Hazard. I can't believe like no one's thought about what they are for this long. It's like, oh, we just casually see a bunch of people stuck in ice. I guess we won't talk about it again. I wonder what that's about. Why are there so many people stuck in ice? Anyway, that's interesting. So, Harold goes on to say, you think the government did that? And it's like, it's clear that we had a great enemy at some point in the past, but all of that history was sunk under the sea one day. My point is, your failure to win them over might not be your fault. because there's some ancient beef going on here. The world government does not fuck with giants on a pretty big level. Ja Rule says that he's heard wind of stories about an army of giants put on ice somewhere.
Yo, I'm looking at the picture right now. It's like a cavern, and the people are big. People are big, pretty large. I didn't think anything of it.
It's hard not to glaze, you know.
It's hard not to.
When you see shit, you know, there's shit like this. It's hard not to glaze. And the glaze goes on. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, we cut back to Loki growing up.
I'm sorry. I gotta add more shit to it, bro. They're trying to make the kids giant, right? Maybe they're extracting the tissue from these giants to recreate them. Maybe that's how they're even developing that any of these, because you know they said that they've had a lot of experiments.
Yeah, there's been multiple efforts of the government trying to get giant power without having any kind of good relationship with Elbaf, without actually like fostering a good relationship with them in general, but still wanting their power. So this is just another way of doing it. Pretty nuts. Anyway, we cut back to Loki, who's having a miserable fucking life. His fucking dickhead uncle keeps feeding him rotten scraps, and historically has been doing that, it seems. There's been a lucky in his when he was like a little bit older, a lucky horse died around Loki, and in the underworld, the regent is dead, which is, I think, his uncle. So I think they're implying that Loki killed this guy. The regent.
They're implying that he threw him off of the fucking cliff into the underworld.
Yeah,
because they found him dead in the underworld.
Yeah, something happened there. He's at least accused of killing his uncle. I'm not sure he did, but you know, I'm sure
he's not accused, but we're accusing him. We're for sure accusing him.
Yeah, we're accusing him. I mean, he is giving a little smile there.
Yes, the slightest.
He does have. He's the slightest little smirk there. But we continue on to see that Harold actually built the 8 branch routes in Elbaf, unifying the country and creating vibrant trade between villages. Because apparently they were not connected in their own country, so that's nice. And everybody's like, King Harold, yeah, you're doing the thing, hell yeah. And everybody is looking at Hadrian and is like, why do you look so pleased, Hadrian? You're not the king's real son. Only Loki is our real prince. You're just a bastard. Damn. Why are adults so mean to children in this series? This is like full-grown adults have beefing hard with children. With Loki, with Hadrian, with Robin. These fucking grown adults. Meanwhile, we see that whenever Harold leaves the country, Loki gets up to doing some shit. He breaks through with the animals from the underworld and causes massive damage, and causing harm and destruction to those who mocked and ran from him. Hadrian, in the meantime, has been trying to protect the village, even though he's not as strong as Loki. Hadrian tells him to not mess up the village his dad worked so hard to rebuild, and Loki is like, he's my dad, not yours. That guy might get a lot of respect, but he tries to be friends with those tiny little bug humans. And Hadrian tells him that you have to see someone at the same eye level. Don't think you're special just because you're big. And Loki smacks him across the face with his mace and says, I'm special because I'm the prince. Don't ever talk back to me again, shrimp. At that point, we see a young Goldberg and Gerd showing up to stand up for Hadrian. So that's nice. Loki continues to laugh at him. He's pressed that Hajrudin actually has friends. Who gives a shit? But he's like, haha, you're a little creep. You're a loser, Hajrudin. Look at you weaklings licking each other's wounds. The son of a mother tainted blood. And everybody's like, damn, Loki, chill. He's the king's son as well. He's a prince. He's like, don't call him a prince. And he starts beating up his royal guard. And he's the narrator says that no matter how much he harmed and destroyed, Loki could never fill the hole at the center of his being. And we see him falling into the underworld, and his bandage is off, and he's crying that he can't even die, which is dark. Loki's attempted to kill himself by throwing himself off into the underworld. Pretty crazy. In that moment, we see a mountain in the distance cut, and the monsters in the underworld are afraid, and we see these small little guys appearing towards Loki, and they're like, "Ha, there we go! Look, it's a giant kid. So this must be Elbaf." We see our guy, Gold Lion Shiki, say, "Gee, ha 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 ha! This one looks positively demonic." And then we see the goat Whitebeard here. He's saying it seems too big, even for a giant. Is he crying? And then we get 2-page spread of the fucking man, the myth, the legend himself. We see Rox D. Zebek talking to Loki and answering him 2 questions. He says, "All right, Brat, you're going to say yes twice because those are the answers I want from these questions. Question 1, is this Elbaf, the land of the giants? Question 2, is Harold here?" And the narrator informs us that this man, whom Harold met at the Reverie 8 years earlier, killed an admiral and fled. Now the government has placed a bounty on his head. And Roxy Zebek looks an incredibly suspicious amount like Blackbeard. And we get a little caption at the bottom says that he is the future captain of the Rocks Pirates and father of Blackbeard. A little on the nose there. I mean, I think we could have figured it out. But that is the end of One Piece this week. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1154?
Yeah, so we all said this was the best chapter of the week already. Got that out the way. Just to be clear, as I was turning the page and I read D. Zebek, and I seen Father of Blackbeard before I actually seen his whole face. So I was like, Father. I was like, that's his dad? And then they showed his face. I was like, yeah, it looks just like him. So it happened in reverse for me. I was really hoping that this was some brand new information.
No, I mean, everybody figured, but it was not confirmed until this moment.
I didn't figure shit.
Yeah, that was the prevailing theory about Rocks, is that he's Blackbeard's dad.
Who's that girl that's with them?
Stussy.
Oh, the chick that was copied.
Mm-hmm. That's Weevil's. That's Weevil's mom. That claims to be Whitebeard's baby mama. And remember Weevil? Have you met Weevil?
Yeah, I remember Weevil. They didn't show him yet. He's.
She would eventually go to join. I don't know if this is before or after, but she does join Vegapunk, Vince Smoke Judge, and Caesar Clown in Mads. And Queen. But that's Stussy.
Wow. Okay, where's Lin? Oh.
Not yet, I guess. She hasn't joined yet. In fact, it doesn't seem like they're a pirate crew yet because they say at this point he's the future captain.
Oh.
This is interesting. But I'm going to let you get to your thoughts.
No, I mean, I'm figuring this all out too, like on the spot. Yeah, I could see why Loki thought these guys were the coolest because they sure are. He sliced a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe there was a valid logistical reason for doing so, but it probably just was the cool thing to do. You know what I mean? If maybe we'll get an explanation in the next chapter, but yeah, this is Otis storytelling, at play. Obviously, Loki is a flawed character, like majority of good characters are, and I like how they juxtaposition him with Hydrogen, because the only difference is that he had love from his mom, and because of that, he was able to make friends a lot easier, and especially compared to Loki, who was rejected at birth, and was told he was a problem his whole life. Pretty simple, but I like the picture that's being painted here. I think I have to keep in mind that Loki does kill Harold. I'm pretty sure that happens. But so like I'm trying to see like if I could figure out like why, like before then, like if he was taking control of or something like that. That kind of feels like it would be cheap.
I mean, they showed a little bit of what happened with Harold before this flashback got further on, where Loki kind of showed up and he was like being attacked by his guards.
Yeah, he was already being killed when Loki showed up.
Oh. Well, I get high, so I forget things sometimes. Thanks, guys.
It's okay.
Alrighty. I don't know. I don't got much more to say. Droning on. I want to hear your thoughts. What'd you think, Brian?
God, Rock Steezebek looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
He is up there. Like Elbaf has introduced us to some of the coolest character designs in the series so far. Like Loki, Rox, even Harold looks cool as fuck. Like this arc has not been a letdown at all. We are getting some huge, groundbreaking fucking reveals, and this is pretty much everything we wanted from One Piece so far. But goddamn, Loki's flashback, like is probably among the saddest in the entire series so far. It's pretty dark, it's pretty brutal, and the poor guy just wants to be loved, man. He just wants his mom to love him. It was heartbreaking to see like the shit that he went through as a kid. Which evidently gives more credence to him joining the Straw Hats.
I mean, I think he's in. Luffy literally asked him. That's the thing we missed. I forgot about that. We didn't get to talk about that.
Yeah, Luffy asked him to join the crew, and to which he says no.
He didn't say yes yet.
He'll join. He'll join.
Him.
He has the requirement. He has the really, really sad backstory.
I think it only works if his devil fruit ability somehow allows him to get small. He's too big for the Sunny. He won't fit.
He could just walk alongside it, can he? Like San Juan Wolf or whatever.
He can do that, yeah.
I think San Juan Wolf is way bigger than Loki.
You think so?
Plus, he has a devil
He's a
fruit
giant. Yeah, he's a giant that ate the giant fruit.
Yeah,
right? Is that the?
I think so. You found me. You remember?
It's behind the. It was just someone random that pointed him out too. It was just one of the guys, one of the random Marines. Let's say, what's that guy doing up there? It's like, oh, man, Blackbeard's crew is super duper dope.
Yeah,
and his dad is cool too.
Yeah, very cool.
No, I don't have much else to add. Like, it's just so fucking cool to see Rox in all of his glory. He has, like, looking at him, he feels like he has the same aura as Roger. And some people have pointed out, even though like obviously it's because he's asking two questions, but his hand being put in like the two fingers pose makes people think that he has Law's devil fruit.
Yo,
Because he does the shambles with two fingers.
Either that or he has Buggy's devil fruit. I've seen a lot of people say that he could also be Buggy's dad as well.
Yeah, that's the bit. It's a lot of theories out there since Zebek showed up.
But yeah, people are saying that one half of Zebek's face looks like what?
He couldn't be Buggy's dad because they were like kids on Roger's crew at the time, right? Him and Shanks.
I don't know how old Buggy is, but I guess it depends on how old.
Oh,
Blackbeard is.
this was before there was pirates, though. Yeah, that could be the case.
I think
Depends on
Buggy
how old
is.
both of them are. Buggy is almost 40. Buggy is currently 39.
Yeah, Buggy's older than Blackbeard. But he is younger than the God Valley incident, and God Valley is where Zebek died, I think.
Blackbeard is 40. He's a year older than Buggy.
Oh shit.
Okay, so I guess we could talk about theories. I'm not really putting it out that Zebek could be Buggy's dad, because who knows? We don't know Buggy's lineage, and I imagine that Buggy actually probably comes from pretty legendary stock for some reason. It would be the funniest thing that Oda, it seems to be on the line of logic that Oda does, is that he keeps putting Buggy in higher and higher positions but in ways that are completely out of his control. It makes sense. I wouldn't put it past him to make him Buggy's dad. Do I entirely buy it? I don't know.
But have you seen people's evidence for it?
People pointed out the eyes, because
so people are saying that
open looks like Buggy's, and the other one.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, well, Buggy's eyes are what? Let me see. Let's look at Buggy's.
Here, let me send you guys the pictures, because it's like one half of Zebek's face looks like. Oh yeah, one half of Zebek's face looks like Buggy, and then the other half looks like Blackbeard.
Okay, I see it. I see the
when you sync them up.
Yeah.
I think Oda Joe's character is very similarly so.
I'm not putting my entire stock in that theory. I'm about 70% bought in, because I feel like it's kind of a possibility with how Oda writes Buggy. It would be extremely funny if like Buggy got his nose from his mom. That means that like Buggy and Blackbeard definitely have different moms if this is the case. I don't put my entire stock in it. I don't entirely buy it.
Like this actually looks a lot like Buggy, especially like if his hair color is the same as Buggy's, or like closer to Buggy's. Like I feel like they do match up pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not entirely bought yet, but I can get there. I can see it. The Law's devil fruit theory, I'm a little more sold on, but I don't entirely believe it either. I think the two is a coincidence, but it also could not be. I don't know. I feel like it's too early to call. That one I'm a little more, I could give it an 80-20 buying into maybe he has Law's power. Because someone gave someone the immortality operation. It had to have been done before for people to know about it. It could have been Zebek who gave it to Emu. It could have been Zebek who probably maybe even gave it to Blackbeard. I don't know.
But he dies at.
Well, you have to die in order to do it. Like if you do the immortality operation, you die.
So that would all right. If he did it with Blackbeard, that would imply that Blackbeard Teach was at that island.
Yeah, it would imply that he did it when Blackbeard was a newborn on God Valley.
Wow.
And that would imply that if Buggy is his son, Buggy was also there, and he ended up on Roger's ship with Shanks when they were both babies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's important to note that Shanks definitely more than likely has came on on Roger's ship when God Valley was over. And it could be said that Buggy got there the same way. But I don't know. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of stock in him having the op fruit. I don't know about who he would have used it on, but like
depending if he even did the operation, but
only because we know that he's about to get it from Law. So it looks like that. Law escaped.
Yeah, Law escaped. His crew didn't.
Yeah,
but Law did escape. But yeah, I don't know. Lots of big leaps that are not that crazy. Honestly, these are relatively reasonable theories for One Piece fans. But I don't know. It's inconclusive to me. We'll have to see next chapter, which thank God there's not a week off, because I need to know more. We can't stop here. Imagine the flashback just stops here and we just go back to the present.
We have to. We have to know why Loki fucks with rocks so heavy.
I feel like because he just doesn't care for living on an island where everybody hates him. So I would understand why he would want to leave first chance he gets. But, there's a parallel with Luffy and Loki. I think they're also like opposite sides of the same coin. Luffy wanted to set out to sea in the same way that Loki did. So I don't know. There's a lot of cyclical stuff with One Piece where you see it with Loki and Column and Luffy, where they both all as children wanted to get on pirate ships and escape together. So a lot of cyclical stuff.
True that.
Cyclical.
Cyclizar. That's a Pokemon.
Oh yeah?
Cyclizar.
Yeah,
it's the bike Pokemon that you see some trainers riding on in Scarlet and Violet.
Oh.
Cool.
Maybe it'll be my next Pokemon.
I doubt it.
You're right.
But yeah, I mean, this flashback is gas. I can't wait for the next one.